I'd like to bring up our next speaker, Nic. We're looking forward to hearing what you have to share. Please come on up and educate us, my friend. Here's the power.
Thank you, sir. My name is Nic Jones. I'm the Director of Business Development for North America and Europe for a company called Red Date Technology. We're based in Hong Kong. We created, what we do create is we create blockchain infrastructure for different enterprises to build different solutions on. And one of the markets that we're really, really heavily focused on is mainland China. And so we created a blockchain network that is regulatory compliant with the Chinese officials. All cryptocurrency is illegal inside of China. And so we can't have Bored Ape in China. We can't have any blockchain-based, anything that's on a permissionless protocol that we're used to using doesn't get to exist there because cryptocurrency is tied to the base layer of that. So we created what we call non-crypto blockchains inside of China. And so the gas and transaction fees occur in the local RMB rather than Ethereum. So one of those chains is called the Wuhan chain. The Wuhan chain is literally Ethereum, but where the gas and transaction fee occurs, it occurs in the local RMB. So that allows anybody that has built things on ERC 720 based protocol to deploy immediately into the network. So we launched this network in January of 2022, and in 6 months, we was the first time that we surpassed the daily transaction volume of Ethereum, and now we surpass the daily transaction volume of Ethereum every single day. So the network is huge inside of China already. We're not the only blockchain network inside of China. There's some centralized options for people. There's Tencent and Alibaba, but again, those are centralized applications. Whereas the BSN DDC network is a decentralized blockchain environment. So the BSN is foundationed in Singapore and has multiple validator nodes operated by different entities all over the globe. So yeah, it's much different than the centralized blockchain environment. So that's why this environment is becoming extremely popular inside of China. So what we do is we offer the ability for creators, IP owners, artists that have IP that want to penetrate that market with their digital assets. It's very simple. We can help you mint your creative assets right into the BSN DDC network, and then everything is still the same. Those tokens now can be sold on the marketplaces inside of China to those users. And all the blockchain principles still apply for the Chinese users. They still get token, they still have custody inside of their own wallet. So it's all the same principles that we all know. And as I said earlier, if you're a developer or somebody that creates smart contracts, all the chains inside of the BSN DDC network, all of the non-crypto blockchains are EVM based and Solidity compatible. So again, you could just come and deploy your assets directly into the network and then have access to the users of this, which is ultimately mainland China users. And those users still find ways to participate through VPNs, but this is the only real legal route for them to be able to take. So yeah. again, I apologize that didn't have any more slides to show you guys. It's a pretty complex idea to just talk about, but that is the BSN DDC network. So if you guys have any interest in learning more about getting into that market in any capacity, please feel free. That's my Twitter handle, 0x Nicky. So just follow me, and we can, chat more about how I could help you guys get products into China.
Can I ask you a couple questions?
Absolutely.
Yeah, sure. I'll trade you. All right. Well, first of all, does anybody have a pressing question in here? You got to be courageous. Raise your hand right now if you do. Okay, go ahead. Stand up. Say the question. And I'll reiterate it for the camera. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think it's super interesting that it's Solidity EVM compatible. How many contracts or what's the activity that you're seeing?
Yeah, so I actually had
Can you reiterate the question before you answer it for the camera? Thank you.
Yeah, so he said, what kind of activity are we actually seeing based on the usership of the network, like through contracts? We can only see based on our official smart contract. There is a BSN DDC official smart contract, and then other people, obviously, like I said, can deploy into that. We can't necessarily see what's going on those deployed contracts, but just on our own BSN DDC smart contract, in 12 months there was over 30 million DDCs minted. So I missed that in the slide. DDC is a replacement term for NFT in China. NFT means non-fungible token. DDC means distributed digital certificate. So the Chinese officials didn't want any terms that were even associated with crypto. So that's why we kind of did away with the term NFT. So
Can I ask you a question about when you project into the future, what is something you're concerned about that could happen with China that people might want to be mindful of? And what's something you're really optimistic about that you think this is likely in motion that should maybe open things up? But maybe you could share some of your, maybe a personal, like, this could be a real hurdle for us. This could be really beneficial for the market. I'd love to hear a bit about that.
Yeah, well, I think that we all know that regulation is coming, right? Like, I mean, it's naive of us to think that regulation isn't coming for cryptocurrency, because it is. And I think that what's really positive is you can look forward, and see what's going on and what we've built in mainland China and know that, wow, there's regulated environments that still operate and thrive and grow in really great ways. So I think that that's one positive that we could take from it. I think, maybe a negative that might come from more of like a maximalist view is, we don't want regulation. Just more regulation is always going to be bad. But I don't see it as that. I see it as kind of what has been built in China is somewhat of an optimistic example of what can be. And I think that we'll find a nice middle ground with where we're at.
Can we please give Nick a hand, everybody? Thank you for coming up.
Absolutely.
And